Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you in this video a frame that I like dearly. It isn't necessarily the best frame, but I really don't understand her well, but she just works, man. She just works. Now this frame is of course Gyre. Gyre is an interesting frame. She's electric based technically, but she's different from Volt in that she works with plasma type electricity. On the surface, she looks alright, but if you build her properly, you can harness a different level of power from Ballerina Baby. So, let's start things off quickly by showing how you can obtain Gyre. Gyre is obtainable from the Zaraman bounties. You first need to do the Angels of the Zaraman quest. After that, you can get her parts from the various bounties at the Chrysalith. You will get Neuroptics from the first level bounties. You will get Chassis from the second level bounties. You'll get Systems from the third level bounties. And the blueprints you'll get from the last two. So she isn't particularly complicated to farm. It just may take you time if you're unlucky. Now, let's go over her abilities quickly. Now, Gyre's abilities synchronize kind of well. She has the electric based theme around her, and her abilities follow that. Let's go over her passive first. Gyre's passive says that she has a 10% chance to deal crit damage for each electrical status that affects the enemy. Now, with your weapons being able to proc electric, and your abilities being able to proc electric, you will be doing a lot of crit damage with her abilities, as you will see later on. Now that we're done with the passive, it's a simple passive, but it's complex in the way that it works. Let's go over her abilities now. So first ability is called Arc Sphere. Gyre will launch an orb, and on impact it will damage the enemies, and if there's more enemies around that range, it will damage them more. Second ability is Coil Horizon. It will launch a ball that will implode and suck enemies in. It will deal electric damage too. It's a fine grouping ability, nothing too fancy. Third, we get Cathode Grace. Now this ability is an interesting ability in that it has a cooldown, and the way to avoid that cooldown is by killing enemies. So this ability buffs Gyre's crit chance and increases Rotor Swell's discharge if you're using the augment. It has a low-ish duration. The cooldown, as I said, is 60 seconds. How do you get the duration up so the cooldown doesn't affect it? Well, if you get kills with this ability active, you will get extra duration and extra energy. And if you have the augment, you'll also get extra duration on your fourth ability, Rotor Swell. So basically with this ability, you will want to be killing enemies while it's active, so it doesn't go into cooldown, and then you won't be able to cast it, because the boost on crit chance from it is quite nice. And the boost it gives to the fourth ability when you have the augment is necessary later on. Lastly, we have Rotor Swell. Gyre will do its spinny thingy, and then enemies in the range of that ability will be electrocuted. So basically, if she does a critical hit, there will be an electric discharge on the enemies, and the enemy that got affected by the critical hit will have the discharge go from them to the enemies around him. And it can stack with each other and stuff like that. It has very interesting interactions, and it can stack up and do a lot of damage. And basically, if you had the augment for Gyre, the damage of the discharge will be increased by 200%, and this ability will be able to gain duration by killing while the third ability is active. So the augment Cathode Current is very important to her because, as you saw, it will buff the fourth ability and allow it to last longer. So a general run through of how Gyre works is you'll enter the mission, you'll cast your 4 and then your 3, and then you'll kill enemies. If you don't kill enemies fast enough, you may get stuck having to wait for 60 seconds because of the cooldown. So you have to be careful, and you have to make sure that you get kills, because if you don't get kills, your DPS will decrease because you will not be able to cast it. Now that we're done talking about how to acquire her and her abilities, let's go over the builds that I use for her. I use Gyre personally for two things: Steel Path missions and Relic cracking. Both builds rely on the same abilities, really. It's just different levels of modding to the needs of the builds. So for the Steel Path build, I rely on Pillage to strip defense of the enemies so that my abilities can kill them. So I'll have Corrosive Projection on the aura, and then I'll have a 328% ability strength so that Pillage removes 82% of the armor. I utilize the Epitaph 2 on this build so it can proc electric status, but you choose what you want as long as you're comfortable with it. And the loop is simple with this build. You cast your 4 and then your 3 and then Pillage, which is 1 on my build, and kill. And you have to do this quickly because you don't have much duration on this build. And if you don't do it quickly, you have to wait for the 60-second cooldown to run out. So you'll have to be careful when running with Gyre at low duration. My second build is for relic cracking and random missions that I do with her for fun. This build notably has less strength, it has more duration, more range, and less efficiency. And this is for a very specific reason. It has more duration because I didn't want to have the stress of having to kill enemies quickly. It has less strength because I'm dealing with lower level enemies that don't need to be one armor stripped or have a lot of base health. It has more range so it can cover more ground and kill the enemies quicker because generally I'm trying to speedrun these missions. And it has less efficiency because I have Nourish as my helmet for this build. And Nourish will give me the energy that I need. So those are the two builds. There's some notable things you have to make sure. One is Archon Stretch. Since Gyre does electric damage with her abilities, Archon Stretch will give you a base amount of energy that you receive over time. Moreover, the augment is necessary on Gyre. Cathode Current is necessary because it allows the fourth ability to last longer and deal more damage, and I see it as necessary in all builds. Now that we're done talking about the builds, let's go over some gameplay. Let's do this. So this is how we generally will start, just getting some energy. Let me get my epitaph ready and everything. Okay, so the gameplay loop is quite simple. I'm just waiting for some enemies to spawn. I'm basically gonna cast my 4, then my 3, and then my pillage to kill them. Okay, let's collect a pile of enemies. You guys are good enough. 4, 3, and 1. And they just die. And this is just the beauty of this build, to be honest. It's fucking easy to use. You just gotta love to see it. This is amazing. Just love it. I just strip their armor, motherfuckers get screwed. Don't even have to do anything. Man, I love Warframe, man. And Pillage is amazing because, well, you have shield gating, you have overshield. It's honestly just... it's hard to die, but you can die if you forget to cast your one. Yeah. Always putting any weapon to, you know, kill the enemies. You're not technically noticing the crit chance bonus, but let's see my Latron. You can easily do red crits because the third ability will just buff it and you'll end up having more fun. So it's quite nice. I really do enjoy it. And I'm gonna finish my farmer. Ooh, Acolyte time, Acolyte time. Let's see what we get lucky with today. Whoa, it is Mania, okay. Don't have to be worried. Let's see if we can armor strip the fucker. LOL. Oh, get wrecked, scrub. Didn't even... my Latron bullet went after he died. Oh my god. Such a waste. It's fine. I guess, you know what? Let me just use my Latron bullets. Oh my god, but... yeah, but if you look at my bottom right, you can see the duration on both abilities stays up for quite a while. And you don't have to keep on killing all the time. But you just need the initial kill to get the timer up. But after that, it becomes really simple. Okay, let's open the map. Ooh, I got a pile of enemies ahead. That's very good. 4, 3, 1. Greenier enemies, by the way. Very nice. They also stand no chance, brother, no chance. They just die. Look at the red dots on the map. Just disappear. They think they can survive. Hell no. Oh, acolyte time! Acolyte time! We have Torment, so no need to worry that much. Where are you, Tormento? Yeah, just relax a bit, Torment, while I kill the enemies. And he's dead. Didn't even have to use my weapon. Okay, let's not waste any more time. See, 700 kills in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. That's good, right? That's good. I think that's good, right? And we are done. So as you can see, Gyre is quite nice to use. I find her very comfy, and I love her playstyle and aesthetic and vibes. I do recommend that you also try her and explore her kit. Just keep in mind you need her augment. But other than that, hopefully you found this video as an interesting watch and helpful in any way, shape or form. Like if you like the video, comment and subscribe, and of course, I'll see you around, lovelies. Bye bye!